Lowell. What do you mean, tighten things up? I asked. I stared at my director in horror. I was pretty sure I knew exactly what he meant, and I didn't like it one bit.
What I mean is, you're too cherubic right now. At this juncture, your character needs to be more emaciated.
Lucas Dresden, one of Hollywood's hottest directors, had the decency to look at his iWatch instead of my face as he delivered the news. Emaciated as in starving? I asked. He sighed.
Your character's been out in the desert. She's been fighting bad guys. She can't look like she just sucked down her 5th Frappuccino of the week.
I beg your pardon.
You can beg for all sorts of things,
Lucas said, his calm, gray-eyed gaze finally meeting mine.
But the producers said you need to tighten things up, which is code for hit the gym and stop eating today. Otherwise, they're going to exercise, no pun intended, the option in your contract. The one that lets them replace you if you fail to perform per the agreed-upon terms.
I could feel myself getting hot as an angry, all-out blush heated my skin. I don't remember my lawyer or my agent saying I had to starve myself when I took this role.
That's because you were thinner when you signed it and your ass was smaller.
Lucas pursed his lips.
I'm sorry, I know this is harsh, but this is Hollywood, and this is how it works. You know that. So no more carbs, no more sugars, no more extras at craft services. Go on a cleanse and start hitting the gym twice a day. We start shooting again in 2 weeks. And we never had this conversation.
I nodded silently. I was stuck somewhere between mortified and enraged, but I didn't argue. I kept my mouth shut. Angry tears threatened, but I held them back. There was no crying in Hollywood. Apparently, there wasn't going to be any eating either.
Kyle. A few years ago, if someone had told me that I'd be a male escort someday, I would have had a one-word response. Awesome. Now that I was an actual escort and hustling to earn every dollar I made, I had a different response. H to the E to the LL no. I loved the ladies, and the ladies loved me. But I'd been playing hide the salami non-stop, and my salami was tired. That was depressing for a number of reasons, not the least of which was that I hadn't known it was even capable of getting tired. But Big Dude was exhausted, and now something I'd always been good at and enjoyed, casual sex, was making me feel sad. Sad was a new low for me. I didn't like sad. When I'd started out working for the service, I'd thought it was so clever. Desperate for money, sure, but also clever. My father would freak if he knew how I was paying the bills since he disinherited me. That had seemed like a great idea at the time, but the more dates I had, the more I started to doubt myself. Why was I doing this with my life? If my main motivation was spiting my father, didn't that mean I was still just a big, belligerent adolescent? I didn't want to keep turning tricks, but as I didn't have any other job prospects, I was still taking assignments. Today I was with one of my regular clients, Dallas. She was young and gorgeous, not the type you might picture to hire a male escort. But now that I'd been doing this for a while, I realized there was no one type of client. Dallas was a second-year med student. She said she didn't have time to look for a relationship. A string of one-night stands didn't interest her, and neither did a fuck buddy. She said she liked me because this was a business transaction, and that I was tested for STDs regularly. I liked her because she was A, gorgeous, B, appreciated Big Dude, and C, seemed pretty normal. "Oh, baby," she said breathlessly, as I nuzzled her clit with my tongue. I nipped at her a little and put 2 fingers inside her wet pussy, which spasmed around me. "I want to fuck you from behind."